Recording is in progress. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, this is Andrew Williams Jr., and I thank you for joining us. This is our 4-day workshop on the United Nations Global Compact and the Sustainable Development Goals. I'm having a bit of a challenge with my screen, so let me share it again for you. Just 1 second, thank you. Now, this 4-day volunteer workshop will be focused on the United Nations Global Compact and the Sustainable Development Goals. This is Monday, November the 20th. We'll be continuing through Thursday, November 23rd of this year. I am your co-host, Andrew Williams Jr. from the USA, Los Angeles, California. Soon we'll be having Pastor James joining us. He's from Lagos, Nigeria. And we may also have Janice Da Silva, who is from Cabo Verde. She's also the co-founder of the AHIABGA International Advisory Board of Goodwill Ambassadors, AHIABGA-TV. We also want to thank our special guest that joined us this morning, Lady Alicia Hamilton. Just to give you a background for those of you who may not be aware of it, I am president of 5 Points Youth Foundation, co-founder with Dr. Janice Da Silva from Cabo Verde of the AHIABGA International Advisory Board of Goodwill Ambassadors, and chairman of the World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity International Advisory Board in Lagos, under the leadership of Chaplain James Mercy Obentumibi. What you may not know is that I'm also the chairperson of the Shola Agula Goodwill Ambassador Foundation, with offices in Nigeria, Canada, and the United States. I'm the USA Ambassador for Global Peace Let's Talk, headquartered in London, United Kingdom, and International Media Director of the New World Network, New World Network's TRN International News, whose CEO, Lady Alicia Hamilton, is also here with us this morning. As Lady Alicia and I have both been lifetime members of the Black Emergency Managers Association, BEMA, founded by CEO Charles E. Sharp, headquartered in Washington, D.C. for over 10 years. When the Sustainable Development Goals we know were then called the Millennium Development Goals, we have been on this collaboration for quite some time. We welcome all of you to join us. In the interest of time, since we do have a few moments before the beginning, I'm going to share my screen. Just 1 moment here. Again, and do a once-over to familiarize you with what the Sustainable Development Goals are. Thanks so much to those of you who joined us last week when we went over all of the Sustainable Development Goals. But for those that are just joining us now, it will be important for us to share with you what we're actually talking about and what that means to you and your organization, and also your own work in your local communities. As I mentioned last week, this is an open book test, so to speak. We will be providing you all the information that we share with you in an email. So it's important that you make sure you let us know in the chat what your email address is and how we can reach you. I know this lettering is a bit small, so I'll read it for those of you who can't. 5 Points Youth Foundation and associates advocate the 10 principles of the United Nations Global Compact via local networks respecting human rights, including indigenous rights, labor, environment, and anti-corruption via the AHIABGA-TV network, channels, and others. We mobilize interfaith, nonprofit, academic, and business collaboratives, localizing the Sustainable Development Goals by building community resiliency networks of safe and sustainable communities and cities. That's Sustainable Development Goal number 11. Taking climate action, SDG 13, pursuant to Habitat 3, New Urban Agenda, 2016 through 2036, using the Federal Emergency Managers Association integrated whole community approach. Envision 2030 for those with disabilities, and tourisms for SDGs. We use those models as we apply them here in the city of Los Angeles for our sustainability plan, the Los Angeles County Sustainability Plan, and the United Nations Global Compact 2021 through 2023 strategy. We form strategic alliance collaboratives via Sustainable Development Goal number 1717 to encourage and promote effective public, private, and civil society partnerships that enhance the global partnerships for sustainable development, complemented by multi-stakeholder partnerships that mobilize and share knowledge, expertise, technology, and financial resources to support the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals in underserved communities and for people with unmet needs. For those of you who can see it, you can please reach me in several ways. Andrew Williams Jr. 777 at gmail.com. I'm also, as I said, president of 5 Points Youth Foundation. You can go to our website, which is fivepointsyouthfoundation.org. Also, you can join us on Facebook. We have a group called the AHIABGA-TV Networks. And you can also join us on LinkedIn. There is an urgency of now that causes us to bring this information to you. As many of you have already experienced, where most people will die from climate chaos, the global south overlaps the countries where there are the least number of United Nations Global Compact local networks. Challenges facing this decade of action to deliver the Sustainable Development Goals worldwide: COVID-19 pandemic, looming hunger pandemic, can only be overcome by empowering multi-stakeholder partnerships. Royal, indigenous, tribal, faith-based, and community leaders must work with the private sector, aid organizations, philanthropists, financial institutions, activists, governmental agencies, you and me, that improve the quality of life on Earth and of Earth, to heal the world and leave no one behind during this fourth industrial revolution for our children's children and future generations. Pastor James has just shared with me the WHOPE overview. I'm going to now download and share that with you. Thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate your being here. We do want to also give you a background of who we are and what we're doing here to help change the world. Again, thank you so much for joining us. Today's event, or this week's event, is being brought to you by the World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity, based in Lagos, Nigeria. The motto of the organization is togetherness and humanitarianism. Background of WHOPE. The motivation and inspiration behind WHOPE establishment, localizing the Sustainable Development Goals for humanity. Humanity is experiencing discrimination, racism, violence, corruption, inequality, hatred, political ignorance, religious intolerance, etc. Youth unemployment, which includes graduates, has led to their involvement in vandalism, robbery, hooliganism, wanderings, immorality, lawlessness, etc. If you're not speaking, please mute yourself. I'll do my best to do that, but if you're not speaking, then please mute yourself. Thank you. We're also addressing the challenge of violations of human rights, unlawful detention, breach of contract, circulation of fake news, etc. The World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity was established as a nonprofit and non-governmental organization to complement the efforts of the government and that of United Nations principles of promoting peace and fundamental human rights by building integrity, values, and professionalism in the humanitarian sector from each locality to the entire world. WHOPE was officially established after the successful registration with the Corporate Affairs Commission of the Nigerian federal government on the 22nd of February, 2018. So we're now in our 5th year of providing services. We're also duly registered and certified by the Economic and Financial Crime Control on Special Control Unit against Money Laundering Certification. Our vision is to construct a just, fair, and sustainable world in which each person can live in peace, safety, freedom, and be protected from poverty and has the right to development. Our mission is to improve peaceful living conditions for humanity, their social development, fair and sustainable economic growth that respects human dignity, the rule of law, fundamental freedoms, gender equality, and human rights oriented on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and African Union Agenda 2063. Our core value is bringing integrity, development, professionalism, and team spirit into humanitarianism. Regarding integrity, we honestly and rightly discharge our duties in a reliable way with strong moral principles. In development, we sustainably create growth, progress, and positive change economically, socially, and environmentally for human development. Professionalism, we operate with and involve professionals of good qualities and behaviors that demonstrate commitment to effective performance in any given job. Commitment and confidence, responsible and dependable. Honesty and ethics, appearance and professional presence. We encourage team spirit. We build trust, pride, loyalty, respect, and optimism, collaboration and cooperation as a formidable team, and also with partners to achieve our vision. We actively believe in the value of human life. Practically, humanity deserves benevolent treatment and assistance in order to better their lives for moral, altruistic, and logical reasons. Human beings deserve respect and dignity and should be treated as such. We operate on 10 main objectives. Number 1, to promote quality and universal peace education through advocacy and public enlightenment. 2, to promote and advocate for the Universal Declaration of Fundamental Human Rights of the United Nations. 3, to promote, localize, and accelerate the implementation of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals through creative, catalytic, humanitarian projects and initiatives. 4, to maintain partnership or any collaboration with the government or other organizations with similar aims and objectives anywhere in the world for global partnerships and development. 5, to mobilize and train individuals and corporate organizations on peace, education, fundamental human rights, volunteerism, humanitarianism, and sustainable development goals. Number 6, to manage, mediate, and resolve conflicts for individuals, institutions, and other corporate bodies. To recognize, appreciate, award, and appoint the distinguished humanitarians and volunteers as goodwill ambassadors for quality services and contributions to the nation building and human development. Everyone here has been invited because we're inviting you to become one of our goodwill ambassadors. So let me read number 7 one more time. To recognize, appreciate, award, and appoint the distinguished humanitarians and volunteers as goodwill ambassadors for quality services and contributions to the nation building and human development. Number 8, to create humanitarian empowerment and global partnerships for rights-oriented in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and African Union Agenda 2063. And finally, number 10, to advocate for climate change, social justice, and human rights for eradication of environmental and health inequalities in the society. Membership in WHOPE is an open international membership to professionals, freelance humanitarians, and volunteers in the field of humanitarianism and other interested individuals, organizations, or institutions who are directly or indirectly involved in humanitarian or human development. We'd like for you to take a moment and review our board membership categories. Again, please make sure you include your email in the chat so that you can receive a copy of this document. This is an open book test. So the idea is to share with you resources for you then to use it in your own organization and in your own community. There are several categories here. I'm only going to read the titles of each one. The governing council membership. Well, I'll continue. The governing council membership, that includes the board of trustees and the advisory board members headed by the trustee chair. The executive board membership is strictly for the continental heads as vice presidents of each continent of the world: Africa, Asia, Antarctica, North America, South America, Europe, and Australia. Honorary board membership for the zone heads of each geographical region, each geographical zone or region of each continent of the world: East, West, North, and South. The management board membership is for county directors in different countries of the world for the implementation of our vision and humanitarian catalytic projects. Regional board membership is for the regional heads of the geographical regions of each country, different cultures, ethnicities, and languages. State board membership is for state coordinators of each country. Area board membership is for the community coordinators of each country. This is the organizational structure. So we have slots that need to be filled in each country to represent your local area. This workshop is for volunteers, and this is our volunteer policy. We consider volunteering we consider volunteerism as service to humanity. We represent volunteerism with respect to culture, religion, and governments. Volunteering based on passion. Volunteerism for no financial reward. volunteerism based on an individual's free will, volunteerism based on respect for fundamental human rights, freedom, and gender equity and equality. This is our capacity statement. WHOPE works with partners, national and international humanitarian organizations to foster peace, justice, and fundamental human rights in the world. We create management teams to work in various localities or communities and countries, also giving the members or experts on pro bono volunteers, as well as associate staffs from all walks of life, the fundamental freedoms to work in their various localities with team spirit to achieve our aims and objectives. There are several ongoing projects, and there are several proposed WHOPE humanitarian projects. That includes clean water for communities, school projects for children in the streets, affordable housing for students and tertiary institutions, and school buses for nursery and primary school pupils. This is how you can contact us. Our WHOPE International head office is in Africa. It's located at 4 Elimosho Road off Lagos Abeokuta Expressway by Edialo Bus Stop, Elimosho, Lagos State, Nigeria. Our website is www.w-hope.org. You must include the dash after w-hope.org. You can email us at info@w-hope.org or support@w-hope.org. Thank you so much for allowing me to share that information with you. I'm still looking desperately for Pastor James to join us here. But Lady Alicia Hamilton, I know this is your prayer time. It's very early in the morning. Is there any comments you would like to make, Lady Alicia? Now's that time, if you so choose.
I believe Pastor James is here.
Pastor Andrew?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Yes, Pastor James.
Oh, this wonderful. I'm seeing my friends, my colleagues, my sisters, my ambassadors, and new faces in the house today. This is a beautiful one. Lady Alicia Amazing. Good to see you again. And Ambassador Janice da Silva. Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. How you doing? Good thing to see you again. It's been a long time. And I'm happy having you again in this program. In fact, I'm the most happy man on earth today. Seeing Lady Alicia again and Ambassador Janice da Silva. It's a great pleasure having you on board. Honorable Andrew Williams Jr., thank you. You have been so wonderful. You've been there for us. And today is going to be another wonderful day. Having beautiful faces and handsome faces in the house that have come to share and learn of sustainable development goals of the United Nations Global Compact, and also having to learn about WHOPE and about our volunteerism. So thank you, everyone. Honorable Andrew Williams Jr., I have to say thank you. And today, too, we have the moderator for this program, which I will quickly want her to introduce herself to us and briefly introduce His Excellency Andrew Williams Jr. to the house. I know some of them might just be coming in. They might not know who His Excellency Ambassador Andrew Williams is. You have to introduce him officially. And Andrew Williams Jr. is going to officially introduce Ambassador Janice da Silva, who is going to also be a facilitator in this program. Then I will officially introduce Lady Alicia Amazing. Over to you, the moderator for today, Elizabeth Oyekunle from the University of Ibadan. Please, can you introduce yourself to the house? Oh, wow, wow, that's lovely. Ambassador Andrew meets Oyekunle Elizabeth from the University of Ibadan. So she's going to moderate the program today. You're welcome, Elizabeth. Over to you, please.
Thank you so much, Chaplain. I am so grateful, and I actually see this as a very great opportunity. I feel really, really blessed, and I feel honored to be here to take this moderating. Yes, it's really nice to be here, and I'm really glad. So yes, this program, like the chaplain has already said, and the ambassador has said a lot already. It's a workshop that really, really promises to be, very, very insightful, and it's going to be really worth it, and it's going to be very impactful. So it's something that we should just, prepare our minds. We can even come with our pen, our papers, to ensure that we're able to follow every single thing, because questions will be asked. We'll be given opportunity to also express ourselves, to ask 1 or 2 questions. And I just can't wait to hear from us, and also to learn a lot from this this workshop. Right. So once again, my name is Elizabeth Oyekunle, and I am glad to be your moderator for this particular 4 days workshop. Okay, so just like the ambassador has already said, the workshop is on United Nations Global Compact and the Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, so like I said, I know it's going to be really very, very eye-opening and so awakening, and I can't wait to hear from our participants. Okay, so I'm sure all our participants they're not all here, they're still coming. And for those who are already here, please make sure you register your name, because there's going to be a word of certificate will be given at the end of the 4 days. Okay, so please make sure that you put your name, register your name just exactly how you want it to appear on your certificate. Okay, and also certificates will only be given, awarded to people who are able to complete the 4 days training, the 4 days workshop. So please ensure that you're here, and also ensure that you're always right on time. Please do not be late, okay? So while you're here, make sure that your mic is always muted, okay? Please mute yourselves until you're given the permission to talk, if you want to talk, okay? And do not forget to use the hand raise button whenever you have something to say, you want to say it verbally. And most importantly is that because you're taking notes, because we know that you're following us in this program, please ensure that you drop your questions in the chat box, okay? Because because we have a lot of people, personnel that would be able to answer your questions here today. Okay, so yes, it's really a privilege. The ambassador has already spoken. He has already addressed, given his presentation. Okay, but then this is an opportunity for me to formally introduce him to the house. Okay, he is the chairperson of WHOPE. Okay, and Ambassador Andrew Williams Jr., he actually has lived, he has lived a life functioning as a cultural diplomatist, respecting the human rights of all individuals throughout the world. True cultural diplomacy requires courage to create a platform for real dialogue between societies. Okay, so when it is used properly, it has the power to bridge division between people and nations, making it one of the strongest diplomatic tools. So, as the chairperson of World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity, the ambassador has also functions as a humanitarianist, okay, one who is devoted to the promotion of human welfare and the advancement of social reforms. such as challenges to achieve decades of action to deliver sustainable development goals, worldwide COVID-19 pandemic, looming hunger pandemic, and climate chaos, all can best be accomplished by empowering multi-stakeholders partnership. Okay, and that's what we had. So as cultural diplomatist and chairperson of the World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity, Honorable Andrew Williams Jr. has, supports the 10 principles of the United Nations Global Compact with respect to human rights, labor, environment, and anti-corruption for businesses and non-businesses, such as academic institutions, business associations, cities and municipalities, civil society organization, foundations, labor organization, public sector organization, just to mention a few. So specifically, through its 2021-2023 strategy to support and launch local, national, and regional global impact network. So we look forward to working and networking through sustainable development goals, enhance the global partnership for sustainable development complemented by multi-stakeholders partnership that mobilize and share knowledge, expertise, technology, and financial resources to support the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals in all countries, in particular, developing countries. Okay, so once again, let us welcome the Honorable, the trainer of today, Honorable Ambassador Andrew Williams Jr. Sir, you're welcome once again. I know you've spoken and all that, you've presented, but we're so glad to have you. We're so privileged to have you for, you've been a good, father's, foundation for this organization, and we're blessed to have you. Thank you again for all the education. Thank you for all the impact, especially to developing countries like Nigeria. And thank you for this opportunity for having me.
Can we all clap our hands wherever you are? Put hands together for His Excellency Andrew Williams Jr. for what he has been doing. Throughout last week, he was here with us doing his best. Can we put hands together where you are? Thank you so much, Your Excellency. This has been a wonderful one. And over to you, Your Excellency, to introduce the other guests we are having for today. And that is Ambassador Dr. Janais da Silva.
Well, thank you so much. Again, this is Andrew Williams Jr. And yes, I am in Los Angeles, but I was honored in 2020 to be inducted as a prince of the Eziopo Palace in Accra, Ghana, by King Chabuti Ahinatu. He represents all the Nigerians in Ghana. So I do feel that I'm very much a part of Africa. I was not born in Africa, but Africa was truly born in me. Those are the words, as you know, of Kwame Nkrumah. But it's also the vision that led Kofi Annan, who's also an African chieftain, who was the General Secretary of the United Nations in 2000, when the world launched the Millennium Development Goals. It's important that you know that what we're doing now is not just a 15-year plan from 2015 to 2030. These Sustainable Development Goals are the second iteration of the Millennium Development Goals. That means the next 1,000 years for us to achieve peace on Earth during our lifetimes. Of course, we hope it doesn't take 1,000 years, but we're faced with major challenges. As you know, in Africa, in the America, around the world, climate chaos is causing disruptions of our entire lifestyles. It's important that we commit ourselves to working towards achieving that in our local communities. We're not depending upon governments to do what they claim they're going to do. For example, in 2015, 193 countries came together to sign what they call the Paris Climate Agreement. However, the commitments that those governments made have never been met. They were going to commit at least $20 billion a year to accomplishing adaptation for those least developed countries. That has never happened. Now, we're over halfway towards accomplishing the Sustainable Development Goals. But before I go forward, I would like to ask Lady Alicia Hamilton if she's available to say hello to our community, because she's very much a part and parcel of everything we do. Even though we're sharing this live streaming it to WHOPE, we're also streaming it to the AHIABGA-TV network, and that's on her network, the New World Network, NWN.TV. Also, again, I am proud to represent Lady Alicia as the International Media Director for TRN International News. As we go forward into 2024, we'll be asking each one of you to provide us with videos about what's happening in your local communities that impact one or more of the Sustainable Development Goals. So this workshop is not just a something to do workshop. We're intending for there to be an outcome. We're intending for each of you to become our media ambassadors for your local community. Lady Alicia Hamilton, one more chance. This is the time if you'd like to unmute and introduce yourself before we proceed.
Okay, not much light here. It's still before day here, where I'm coming to you from Los Angeles, California. Really glad to be here. Good to see everyone. Pastor James, it's been a long time, as you said, and Andrew, always. I'm so grateful for the work that you do in keeping us all connected worldwide. I've been introduced, Lady Alicia Hamilton, representing New World Network, as well as our other interests in our Universal Citizens Media family. That includes the Revelation Network for our faith-based content, and you see a TV for our secular-based content, as well as our DAP channel, which is Disaster Awareness, Preparedness, and Planning, which is one of our flagship programs for people to be prepared for emergencies and disasters globally. And so I'll keep this very brief because we have important things to talk about today in regards to the Sustainable Development Goals, which we have supported and adopted, as Andrew's mentioned, through our membership to the United Nations Global Compact, as well as BEMA, the Black Emergency Managers Association. But New World Network at NWN.TV is our latest release coming out of the pandemic. We call it our post-pandemic programming, because the world is very different since the pandemic. Some things we took from there are horrific, but some things are also very good. One of the things is that we are all very comfortable now doing meetings like this globally, to be able to unite around the world. And media is my lane. That is what I do, media and broadcasting. I'm a distributor. So my intention is to distribute content globally using media and technology. We've been operating our platform since 2007. And prior to the pandemic, we had about 400,000 subscribers and millions of viewers a month. And then, of course, things went different throughout the pandemic. And now we're migrating all of our interests onto New World Network, and that we will have done by the end of the year. But one of the things that is consistent with all of our work is knowing the impact that media has on society and culture. The snapshot of humanity that people will see 100 years from now will be documented in photographs and video, audio captures. And we've been doing that for thousands of years, at least through print and through photographs. How they're going to play media in 100 years is another story, because they may not have the same devices we have today, but still we document. And that is what people are going to see. And if you were to fast forward 100 years from now, some of the things that are going to be represented in media won't actually be accurate. Unfortunately, media has been used to divide, to distort, to advance people's agendas for their own personal gain. So it's really important that we have truth in media, and that is our mantra at New World Network. Truth in media, where we investigate. That's why we seek journalists globally who do their homework and can report stories that are accurate, fact-based, because in this season, it's very important that we can rely on content that is going to be accurate and help people be able to make their best decisions based on accurate information. The worst thing I think that we have seen is people using media to base their decisions about their future, about their family, about their community, and then have that media be inaccurate and to be something that then can lead to division and destruction. So we champion media that is truth-based, accurate, and what will represent our communities and the interests of our communities in a wholesome, healthy way. Thus our log line, we're humanity's healthy heartbeat. But again, all of that's documented through our media that we use technology to share that media around the world. So as we go on this journey together, I'll be holding the fort down on the media and technology side. And we invite you to participate by sharing your stories, your interests, your initiatives, your nonprofit agendas, your achievements. And all of us, I think, come together when it comes to the Sustainable Development Goals because of what has been outlined. We all have something that we're aligning with that will be a blessing to humanity. So again, I thank you for this time, Andrew. Always your work is so wonderful, and I'm just so proud to be associated with you and Pastor James, and whatever I can do to support and help our messages going globally and being interconnected using media and technology. I'm here to serve. So thank you again, and I'll be seeing you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so very much, Lady Alicia. We love and appreciate you. And I'm going to, again, share my screen to remind us that we are also being joined here in spirit by Janice De
Ambassador
Silva.
Andrew, I thought I saw I dug Dr. Janice around. Where is she?
No, she just sent me her video on WhatsApp. So I'm going to share her video that she sent over. I don't see her in the chat. I don't see her in the participants here. So she's not physically with us now, but I will share her video so that she can deliver her message to all of us here. Give me just a moment, please.
Those goals can be individual goals or even, common goals. The peer coaching is something really, important and strategic when it comes to 3 a.m. on this leadership corner. I hope you are doing fine today. I would like to bring to your attention today this notion of peer coaching within the workplace. At the workplace, there are those who are
I apologize. Please, for those of you who are not speaking, please mute yourself and give me an opportunity to share this video with you from the beginning. Please, if you are not speaking, please mute yourself. Looks like Berea Jacqueline, I will mute you. Thank you so much. And Pastor James, I'm going to make you co-host so you can assist me in making sure that we have quiet while we're doing our presentations. Thank you. Just a moment.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
All right, just one moment here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I apologize for interruption. Just a moment, please. And thank you so much for your presence. We had set aside 2 hours for today's session. I know this has been very time consuming, but we will make sure we get information out to you. Just 1 minute here, please. Okay. Oh, here you go. Workshop. Okay, sir. Now I made you the co-host, Pastor James. So thank you very much. We're going to try this one more time and share this with Ambassador Janice Da Silva. Just one moment.
All right.
Today, this notion of peer coaching within the workplace. At the workplace, there are those who are well trained and those who are in training, and those who need additional training for them to achieve their goals, or to achieve those goals can be individual goals, or even I
Ambassador,
here I
we cannot
am
see our face. Is
on
it
the
from my head? Is it the network?
Oops. I apologize, Pastor James. I'm trying to adjust that now before we go forward. Hold on just one moment, please. Oops. Yep, technology is only great when it works. All right, one more time. Thank you for your patience. Let's do this 2 ways here.
doing fine today. I would like to bring to your attention today this notion of peer coaching within the workplace. At the workplace, there are those who are well trained and those who are in training, and those who need additional training for them to achieve their goals.
I apologize, the video. So I'm going to just share the sound with you. Hold on just a minute, please. Thank you so much for your patience. So I'm going to share the share a picture and then see if I can share just a sound, but I believe I'm going to have a challenge here. So we'll see how it goes. Give me just a moment. Okay, so everyone has to close their eyes and just listen. That's the best I can tell you.
I would like to bring to your attention today this notion
I'm not sure if you can hear her.
of
So I'm gonna.
peer coaching within the
Yes, we
work.
can hear her.
Okay, thank you.
At the workplace, there are those who are well trained and those who are in training, and those who need additional training for them to achieve their goals, or to achieve those goals can be individual goals or even common goals. The peer coaching is something really important and strategic when it comes to workplace. Remember that we are all learners of each other. One, we are all learning from each other, and that's how we should see things. That is how we should see this workplace game learning topic. Okay, we learn with the others, we learn from one another within the workplace. Number two, remember that there are those who are more motivated. We all have our reasons for being motivated or not, right? So there are those who are more motivated than the others. And here, peer, motivation is something, strategic as well. So organize activities that incentivize people to become peer motivators. So if Maria is motivated, then Maria number two. So Maria number two, we need to create situations where Maria number two can have motivation coaching from Maria number one. Because at the end of the day, you need Maria number two and Maria number one to achieve your goals. Remember that it's true that we work for results. So another tip number three, we work for results, is true, but we work as well with planning. So sometimes more than results-based, the game should be planning-based. And do planning exercise where your brainstorming is the more democratic as it should be. That it could be better said. Because that sometimes we are focused as leader in achieving results. Because we have our, donors or those who invest financial resources to our initiative, to our projects. And hi, here I am on this leadership corner. I hope you are doing fine today. I would like to bring to your attention today this notion of peer coaching within the workplace. At the workplace, there are those who are well trained and those who are in training, and those who need additional training for them to achieve their goals, or to achieve those goals can be individual goals or even common goals. The peer coaching is something really, important and strategic when it comes to workplace. Remember that we are all learners of each other. One, we are all, learning from each other. And that's how we should see things. That is how we should see this workplace game learning topic. Okay, we learn with the others. We learn from one another within the workplace. Number two, remember that there are those who are more motivated. We all have our reasons for being motivated or not, right? So there are those who are more motivated than the others. And here, peer, motivation is something, strategic as well. So organize activities that incentivize people to become peer motivators. So if Maria is motivated, then Maria number two. So Maria number two, we need to, create situations where Maria number two can have, motivation coaching from Maria number one. Because at the end of the day, you need Maria number two and Maria number one to achieve your goals. Remember that it's true that we work for results. So another tip number three. We work for results, is true, but we work as well with planning. So sometimes more than results-based, the game should be planning-based. And do planning exercise where your brainstorming is the more democratic as it should be. That it could be better said. Because that sometimes we are focused as leader in achieving results. Because we have our, donors or those who, invest financial resources to our initiative, to our projects and programs. But remember that it's not only a matter of achieving results, but it's a matter of planning together. So when you plan together, and here you can adapt as well, considering your context, you can adapt and peer-to-peer planning is something interesting as well, because there are those who have more skills in planning. They can, do this coaching to the others and like that. At the end of the day, all we want is all our collaborators to be at the same page. So more than results-based, it's important, of course, definitely, because we need to achieve results at the end of the day, but let's do planning-based exercises. So everybody matters, all the opinion matter, is something difficult because we are facing sometimes some kind of burnout, we are facing some kind of unmotivation, we are all facing, a lot of challenges. It's true, but you should take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Do this exercise, of taking a deep breath and keep going. I'll be here another time for the tips. Thanks for your patience.
Well, thank you so much for your patience. We wanted to make sure that we were able to share the entire video with the audience. So thank you very much for that. I'm going to now just take just a moment and share some videos to give you backgrounds on why we're here. We're not just here to learn about the United Nations Global Compact and their 10 principles. We're here to learn how you can improve your own activity in your community. Being well informed is very much important and very much a part of that. Also, having an idea yourself about what these sustainable development goals are, what they mean, not just to governments, but in your local community is very important. So I'm going to share my screen if I can again, with a video that was just recently made. Keep in mind, we're now in the last half of this effort for the decade of action to deliver the Sustainable Development Goals, but only 15% towards achieving that goal. So please bear with me just a moment. If technology will allow me, I will share my screen and you'll be able to get some information that's now currently available to people around the world, because we're all trying to accomplish the Sustainable Development Goals to leave no one behind. Also keep in mind, technology is only great when it works. So bear with me as I maneuver us into this presentation by Al Pacino. It's inspirational.
This is Al Pacino. The world has an epic plan called the Global Goals, and it's halftime. I don't know what to say, really. Either we heal as a team, or we're gonna crumble. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now. And we can stay here, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time. You know, when you get old in life, things get taken from you. I mean, that's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's this game of inches. 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. On this team, we fight for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's gonna make the difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying. And I know if I'm gonna have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch. Because that's what living is. The 6 inches in front of your face. Now, I can't make you do it. You gotta look at the guy next to you. Now, I think you're gonna see a guy who will go that inch with you. You're gonna see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team because he knows when it comes down to it, you're gonna do the same for him. And either we heal now as a team, or we will die as individuals. Now, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
You're muted, sir. You're muted.
Thank you so much for that housekeeping note. So the question is, what are we going to do? And the answer is, we're going to globalgoals.org. That's what we're going to do. That's why we're here. We're here not just to learn about, again, the United Nations Millennium Development Goals. We're continuing the workshop that we began last week. And it's all about the Sustainable Development Goals. I want to remind you all too, particularly since we have such an important group here that's from Africa, that it was Africa in 2012 that was getting ready for what we now know as Agenda 2063, that were the ones, the largest region in the world, that took their time to develop what was called the Common African Position on the Post-Millennial Development Goals. I know that as the Sustainable Development Goals. My screen is a little slow to share, but I ask you to just simply go to globalgoals.org. Again, this is an open book test. You will not be asked anything that's not being shared with you. You can also take time to do your own research. This workshop is really not to go in depth in anything. It's to provide you with access to resources where you can learn more about the tools and resources available to help you. Those of you who don't know, in 2015, the world leaders agreed to 17 global goals. We are halfway towards achieving those goals. In just a moment, technology is only great when it works. Let me start one more time. In 2015, world leaders agreed to 17 sustainable development goals, global goals. We're at halftime and only 15% of the global goals are on track. COVID-19, cost of living, conflict, the climate crisis, such as floods, heat waves, wildfires, have set us back. But hope remains. We're joining the United Nations for the crucial SDG halftime campaign this year, because any match is won in the second half. Let's regroup, re-energize, and win together. Find out how you can get involved at globalgoals.org/halftime. So those of you who are on your phones, you can access this information just like those of us who are on our computers. There you learn more about the global goals. Again, this is globalgoals.org. And our intent is to come together to achieve the global goals. Progress for the global goals has stalled and even reversed. We need to reflect on our achievements, learn from our setbacks, and come up with new tactics to ensure the goals are achieved. That's why we're excited to be joining the United Nations for the critical SDG halftime campaign that began this September. #Imagine Winning. #Global Goals. On this website, you can click any of this information to find out more information about ways you can get involved. For example, under what can you do? Every positive action you take, no matter how small, has the power to make a difference. Supporting a Clean the Oceans campaign, switching to greener products, standing up for justice, and reminding your leaders of the promise of the global goals are all good places to start. Again, where you see buttons like this to take action, you can click that link and get more information. This is important not just to civil society organizations like ours, but also to schools and businesses. So those of you who are in education can get tools and resources here. You can discover the world's largest lesson, an educational platform which promotes the use of the goals in learning. There are thought-provoking lesson plans and activities and resources for teachers and children to use, all designed to motivate and inspire young people to become informed and active citizens and build the world they want to grow up in. Again, you can click the link under Start Learning and get more information. For businesses, whether you're a business or employee, at the start of your sustainability journey or developing your next set of commitments, we've got useful resources to support your contribution to the global goals. And I want to remind each of you that are here a part of a NGO or CSO, you too are a business, and you must function in that capacity in order for you to take advantage of the resources available, which I'll go into in just a moment. Again, this is globalgoals.org. This is an open book test. You need to take time and go here, and you can find tools and resources. The video I just showed you came from right here. It's a game of inches, and every action counts. You can click more at the bottom of any of these and find out more about what we're doing. Also, I invite each of you to register for more information. Type in your first name, your last name, and your email address, and click join, and then you will find more information about any of these goals. At the bottom of the page, you'll find that there are ways you can take action. You get news, resources, and podcasts. This is for schools, businesses, press, Project Everyone, partners, and campaigns. Now I'm going to take you to the heart of the matter. I told you earlier that it was actually Kofi Annan in 1999 at the Davos World Economic Forum that launched the idea of the United Nations Global Compact. You can find out more by going to unglobalcompact.org. If your fingertips can type the right letters. In Global Compact. .org. Okay, so I'm gonna, I'll go there. Thank you for your patience. Technology is only great when it works. It's moving kind of slow, but we will get there. So the power of principles. Let me do two things here. I believe I can hide the bar at the bottom of the page here. So this is the topic of this week's workshop. The power of principles. We're addressing the 10 principles of the United Nations Global Compact. I'm going to enlarge my screen so perhaps you can see it better, but I will read you this information. I am deliberately taking you on a journey that perhaps you're not prepared for, but get ready, because the idea is that, again, it's only your organization when it functions as a business that you can take advantage of. I apologize, like my screen. Yeah, here we go. You can take advantage of the commitments that are already being made around the world. I mentioned to you, Kofi Annan launched this in 2000, or actually 1999. He made the announcement. In 2000, it was formally launched along with the UN Millennium Development Goals. This is primarily directed at businesses, but I'm asking you to wrap your head around the fact that you are a business and you have to function that way. The 10 principles of the United Nations Global Compact are derived from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the International Labor Organization's Declaration on Fundamental Principles and Rights at Work, the Rio Declaration on Environment and Development, and the United Nations Convention Against Corruption. There are 4 pillars to the 10 principles. The first one is human rights. Businesses should support and respect the protection of internationally proclaimed human rights. And 2, make sure that they are not complicit in human rights abuses. Again, I need you to think about businesses in your area, not just the small mom and pop businesses, but the big corporations who are having major impacts on your local community. You have the responsibility to hold them accountable for addressing these issues, particularly those members of the United Nations Global Compact. I'll share with you soon a way you can find out who in your community is already a member. The second pillar is labor. Businesses should uphold the freedom of association and the effective recognition of the right to collective bargaining. Principle 4, the elimination of all forms of forced and compulsory labor. Principle 5, the effective abolition of child labor. And Principle 6, the elimination of discrimination and respect of employment and occupation. Let me make this bigger. I'm reading it, but this is for those people that are joining us through our streaming platform. So again, Principle 1, businesses should support and respect the protection of internationally proclaimed human rights. And Principle 2, make sure they are not complicit in human rights abuses. Labor, Principle 3, businesses should uphold the freedom of association and the effective recognition of the right to collective bargaining. Principle 4, the elimination of all forms of forced and compulsory labor. Principle 5, the effective abolition of child labor. And Principle 6, the elimination of discrimination and respect of employment and occupation. The third pillar is environment. Principle number 7, businesses should support a precautionary approach to environmental challenges. Principle 8, undertake initiatives to promote greater environmental responsibility. And Principle 9, to encourage the development and diffusion of environmental friendly technologies. For Pastor James, myself, and many of us here, we're focused on Principle 10. Businesses should work against corruption in all its forms, including extortion and bribery. So those are the 10 principles of the United Nations Global Compact. We'll be going into depth with those later this week, but today is just an orientation. We want to show you where you can go to find out more information and do your homework in advance. There is an annual progress report. I urge you to take advantage of these resources to find out more about how you can use resources to take advantage of activities and resources already available. There's also a news where you will find out that there are activities that are going on right now that impact what you're doing. You cannot make the change unless you become part of the change. As you can see, there's information here related to all areas of the world. But in particular, I want to bring your attention to Unstoppable Africa 2023, shaping a future of prosperity and innovation. When you click on this link, you'll find out that earlier this year, there was, in fact, a meeting that was held that has impacts on what you're doing in your local community. Only when you know what your government is doing can you stand up and say what you're doing has impact on what they're doing. Let them take credit for the work you're doing, but you have to first get at the table. Otherwise, you will continue to be on the menu. So again, Unstoppable Africa 2023 was a two-day Global Africa Business Initiative. Again, use your technology. You can find more information out just by clicking on these links that will take you deeper and deeper into information that you can use where you are right now. This is the Global Africa Business Initiative. Africa's state is positioned as a cornerstone of the world's future. The continent is now positioned to be the most important driver of global business with a $3 trillion market opportunity. The Global Africa Business Initiative puts the private sector at the center of discussions and the solutions. The Global Africa Business Initiative is a platform that places Africa in its rightful place in the global economy and positions the continent as the premier destination for business, trade, and investment. I hope all of you know that the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement went into effect 2 years ago. And even as we speak, there are countries that are taking down barriers between countries in Africa. I believe Ethiopia joined 3 other countries to eliminate visas for travel to their countries from anywhere on Earth. Again, this is a place where you can click on these links and you can see the activities that happen that shape your world. This focuses on several opportunities that you can learn more about to be able to yourself become more involved. That impacts energy, access, energy transitions, inclusive growth and trade, digital transformation. You can see here that there are already multinational corporations that are devoted to addressing these issues. It's up to you to identify which of these has impact on what you're doing in your local community. You can even see the AfricSim Bank that has resources to provide organizations like yours that are committed to the Sustainable Development Goals to work with other organizations that have already got budgets to work with. There's no reason for you to come to Pastor James or to me to look for resources for accomplishing the objectives that you want to do. It's up to you to educate yourself about how you can contact organizations that are right now spending money in your community to do the things that they claim they want to do, but that you are actually doing. So, in conclusion for today, I'm going to allow you or encourage you to go to unglobalcompact.org. This is the location online, where you can, that didn't work too well. Let me try it again. UN Global Compact. unglobalcompact.org. You can see here that they are paying attention to the upcoming COP28 event that's going to be held later this month from the 30th of November through the 14th of December. This is critically important to governments because this is where private sector will be presented and show how they are working towards accomplishing Sustainable Development Goals. In just a moment, I'll share with you why it's important that you know that. As of right now, there's over 23,000 participants in 167 countries and 69 local networks of the United Nations Global Compact. There are 10 of those on the African continent. You can see also that the United Nations Global Compact has a worldwide strategy from 2021 through 2023 to focus on ambitions to accelerate the scale of the global collective impact of business. However, you can also see that there's a separate UN Global Compact Africa strategy for 2021 through 2023. On this website, unglobalcompact.org, you can also find out how you can catch up with activities that are going on around the world, not just news, but you can also click on events. You can find out activities that are already happening or already planned to happen. And if you missed it, you can go back and catch up on what this information is. In my conclusion today, I'm going to take you to the CFO Coalition. The UN Global Compact CFO Coalition. UN Global Compact. And we're about to end for today. So please be ready to type any questions you have into the chat, along with making sure that we have your information about how we can reach you and how we can make sure you get this information, and also a replay of today's event. In conclusion, I want to bring to your attention that the United Nations Global Compact does not just deal with nonprofit organizations. They also deal with major corporations in the world. In particular, there is something called the Chief Financial Officers Task Force that calls for greater private sector financing for the Sustainable Development Goals. They did this at the SDG Investment Forum recently during the 78th United Nations General Assembly. This website will take you to upcoming events. Starting on December 5th, there's an SDG Forum at the COP28. As a description, the CFO Coalition for the SDGs convened as a platform for CFOs to interact with their peers, investors, financial institutions, and the United Nations to share ideas, develop new concepts and frameworks, and provide recommendations to unlock private capital and create a market for mainstream SDG investments. It stems from the recognition that, as stewards of trillions of dollars in corporate investments, CFOs are uniquely positioned to reshape the future of corporate finance and investment as a catalyst for growth, value creation, and social impact. I hope this gets you thinking, because your own NGO must have a chief financial officer who's qualified to engage with these larger companies and corporations, because this is where the money is. For example, there are only 71 companies that make up the CFO Coalition. They represent 27 industries covering 5 regions, but they're responsible for $1.5 trillion in collective market cap. A third of that, $500 billion, is SDG aligned investments. Again, either you need to be at the table or you are on the menu. They focus on 4 principles to integrate sustainable development in corporate investments and finance. Your organization needs to have astute CFOs in your organization to be able to engage with this larger coalition. Number 1, SDG impact thesis and measurement. If you don't measure it, it doesn't count. So you're going to have to get good at developing statistics and data about what you're actually doing, what your plans are, what your outcomes are. You must be the ones in control of your own data. Unfortunately, Africa has the least data available. So the more astute you are at providing data, the more you'll pop up on the attention of those looking for just that result. Number 2, integrated SDG strategy and investments. Again, this is where you fall in, but only if you make known what your SDG interests are. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way through 17, or which one of those are important. They're encouraging the corporate CFOs to integrate SDG finance in their operating procedures, also in their communication and reporting. This is very important. The reporting, I'll tell you why in just a moment. On this website, you can actually find a list of these organizations and also the people who you can reach to make this change. As you see on the right, you have the director of the African Development Bank. So this is not something that's just for people in Western countries. These are people on the continent that you can reach. For those of you that have footprints around the world, you also need to know these organizations, PIMCO, for example, they have a local branch in your office, in your area. You need to engage with them, let them know how you are also participating with this effort to deliver action on the Sustainable Development Goals. Again, you need to be part of the solution or you're still part of the problem. All this information is freely available online, but as you see, the very last line is that these are also key partners of the UN Global Compact. In my conclusion, I'm going to take you back to unglobalcompact.org, where you can find out what's happening in your local community. Thank you for your patience. You've been a very, very, very gracious and provided opportunity to share this with you. This is not new to me. I've been living with this since 2000. What I'm trying to do is make sure I'm useful and not useless in sharing this information with you. It's up to you to decide what you want to do with it, if anything or nothing. Again, unglobalcompact.org is where you can go for information. You'll also find resources you can use in your local community, and find ways that what you can do is use these resources and put them to work for you. Later this week, we'll actually go through content that's already readily available that will help you be able to engage with the United Nations Global Compact. This is where you can find out what this organization is about. Let's see if I can make this smaller. It's a voluntary initiative. So the information they make available here gives you the background. You cannot rely upon me to tell you everything you need to know. You have to go here to find out more information about what you're doing. But the important and last point I want to share with you is that you can engage locally through their local networks. When you click on engage locally, you'll find out that on the ground, there are local networks throughout the world. In Africa, there are 10 local networks, including one in Nigeria. So it'll be important for you to begin to familiarize yourself with those companies that are already registered with the United Nations Global Compact. At this point, we're not asking you to join, we're asking you to operationalize what's already in existence. There's nothing you have to do but first decide how what you're doing impacts one or more of the Sustainable Development Goals, and then begin to include that in your mission statement and your communications. You need to also make sure you have a CFO, a Chief Financial Officer, who can be the one to engage with the larger worldwide network that's already in place. But again, just for an example, in Africa, you can click to see that this is the regional map or regional group of where the local networks are. In Nigeria, when you click this link, you can find out that there, unfortunately, are not a large number of UN Global Compact members. It was launched in 2006, but there are only 137 participants. This is critically important because these are the 137 participants that have already made commitments to accomplish one or more of the Sustainable Development Goals, and they've already publicly published what they intend to do every year. So thank you for your participation. This is Andrew Williams Jr. I'm going to turn it back over to the moderator to wind us up. Thank you so much for your time. Pastor James and the moderator, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Honorable Andrew. I really appreciate this teaching and this learning, and I'm sure that participants are paying, attention, and they've been able to get all the necessary things that they're supposed to get. They know what they're called out for now to do. They know what next to do, because I believe that in one way or the other, everybody has something to give, whether privately or publicly. You don't have to necessarily belong to a certain organization before you can also make a personal effort, to contribute to the humanitarian cause. And also having the opportunity to be a volunteer, for this particular cause, this United Nations Global Compact is really a great opportunity for every one of us, which I believe that is going to really be a good step for us to take. Okay, so thank you so much for this. It was quite insightful. Thank you once again. So now I'm going to go to our attendant participants to see if they've got one or two things to ask, or if they got one or two contributions to also give. So please, if you have any question now, please, you can just raise your hand and I'll call you. If you have any question for the facilitator, please put up your hand. Just use the hand raise icon and then I'll call your name and you can unmute yourself. If you have any question or any form of contribution, not necessarily question. If you have any form of contribution, you have question, this is the time to talk. This is the time that we know that you've been following us. This is the time that we know that you just want to let the facilitator know that you've been with him all the way. You've heard from him. You've heard from two other persons. Dr. Janice also spoke. You also heard from Lady Hamilton. So I'm sure that you should have one or two things to say. Okay, thank you. So you can, I don't know if someone's hand is raised.
It's me.
Well, I think, okay.
I wanted to give you the respect of following your instructions, so I wanted to raise my hand. A lot of people are shy, but what we did in the chat is we put a link there. We want a survey to find out which of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals your organization is involved with. Also, we put a survey link to the UN Global Compact to find out which of the 10 principles your organization might be involved with. This is, again, an open book test. You don't have to complete it, but we ask you to. And again, if you make sure we have your email, we'll send this out to you afterwards. Thank you so very much. Back to you, moderator.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Ambassador. So you heard that now. So please go to the chats and please do justice to the survey. Okay,
well, I think
and if you know you do not want to talk, maybe you're shy or something, please you can just send your question to the chat room and I'll get it for you.
I thought Mohammed raised his hand. Hamza Auta Mohammed. Please, can you go ahead with your question? Mohammed.
Hello?
Go ahead, please. All right, let's do it this way. Moderator, I know some of them might not be in the house. They are just here because of certificate. So you have to call names now and let's mark the register. Anyone that its camera is not on or not responding to you, please mark such person absent. So that's how we're going to go about it. Anyone that his camera is not on or do not answer to your call roll, please mark the person absent. Can we go ahead now with the names? And please, she has said it rightly and before now that you should put your name how you want it to be on your certificate in the chart. Not that you use abbreviation and at the end of the day, you'll be sending certificate back that your name is incorrect. Some of you now, you didn't put your real name. You are using slang, your street name, or the names your wife or your husband calls you, which is not official. Don't put that here. At the end of the day, when you have your certificate, you will not be saying the names are not correct. We don't have time for that. It is what you put here, we're going to put on your certificate. Because I can see some putting their phone, Infinite Hot 9. Is that your name? Infinite X6517. Is that your name? Techno CK6. Is that your name? By the special grace of God, that is what we are going to put on your certificate. To be sure that those names of the phone present. And we are going to send it to Techno Company, Infinite Company, and those companies that this brand of their phones attended training. And they have passed the prerequisite condition for this certificate. And that is why we award Infinite Hot 9, this certificate, or Techno CK6, and forward to the company. Now, you have been taught that when you are entering a conference like this, enter with your name and not the name of the phone or your pet's name, official name as you want it on your certificate. So moderator, please, go ahead with the names you have with you.
Just a moment.
Those that respond, you get. All right, Ambassador Andrew, go ahead, please.
Yes, some people that have a phone cannot change their names, but if they'll type into the chat their names, at least we'll be able afterwards to connect the dots. We do understand there are technical challenges, so we don't want to discriminate against you because you have a mobile phone. But we do want you to let us know what the actual correct name is. Also, this is the time if you want your photo taken to at least show your video just briefly. So before we go to the name calling, roll calling, we're going to take our group photo, and then I'll turn it back over to you to wind us up. So again, this also, Pastor James, might let us know who's really there and who's just thinking that they're there, or who just wants a certificate but aren't willing to participate. So now's the time to begin to take the photos. In 60 seconds, we will begin taking photos. I don't know who's going to do it, but I'm sure somebody will. So you just lost 30 seconds. So now we're down at 30 seconds. Over to you, Pastor James.
That means you're going to on your camera now. On your camera, wherever you want, we want to take a photograph. Then we are going to call the attendants to know those are present here. Emmanuel Etu, on your camera, wherever you are, please on your camera. On your camera, everyone, and you are free to take picture wherever you are. You're also free to take pictures. Take pictures wherever you are. Use your phone. However, take pictures, take pictures, take pictures. Take pictures. Smile, smile. Don't spoil our camera. Don't spoil the day. Make sure you give a smile. Yes. Give a smile. Okay. Take pictures. That's lovely. And we are going to call attendance now to be sure you are here with us. And it is you, yourself. Now let's go ahead. The moderator, please. Can you call the names? Those that are here with us now.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So I'll start with the first name I'm seeing here, Oyekule Elizabeth. That's my name. Present. Okay. So Albert Njwada. Are you there? Albert Njwada. Are you there?
Present.
Okay,
Present.
thank you.
Say present, so for us to know you're here. Okay.
Okay.
Albert, where are you joining us from? Albert, where are you joining us from?
I'm joining from Kenya.
Kenya. All right, thank you. Go ahead, moderator.
Okay, thank you, Albert. Dlama Beatrice.
President, ma, President, I can hear you, ma. I'm with you, President.
Okay, so when you say your name, just say present and tell us where you're joining us from. I think that would do. Okay, so Blama.
I'm joining from Nigeria.
Nigeria. All right, thank you.
Yes.
Please, yeah. Donald Iyadege.
Yes,
Donald Iyadege.
I'm present. I'm joining from Kenya.
Okay.
Present from Kenya. You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ogochukwu Ebaleme.
I'm present. Joining from Lagos, Nigeria.
Thank you.
Okay, from Nigeria. All right.
Yeah. Sidi Esther Amanosi.
Present from Nigeria.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so there's a Techno 6 here, Techno CK6. Can you let us know?
from Techno Company. Techno representative.
Let's hear from you, so you can kind of type your name full on the chat. Techno CK6, are you here? Okay, I guess this person isn't here. Then Umoru Benedict
from Techno Company. Go ahead, please.
Umoru Benedict David.
Present. Ibadan, Nigeria.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Akintayo Fumilayo.
Present, ma. I'm representing, calling from Nigeria.
Okay.
Akintayo Fumilayo from where in Nigeria?
Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, please.
All right. Okay, so I think some people are just muting and unmuting, so the attendance is not stable. Right. Aremu Sunday Bankole.
Present, ma. I'm joining you from Libya.
All right,
Libya.
thank you. Okay, Brenda Asiro.
I'm present. I'm attending from Uganda.
All right, thank you.
Uganda.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Brenda from Uganda. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so we have here Chaplain Safwan Bey.
Present
Safwan
from
Bey.
USA.
Okay.
From United States. Chief.
All right.
Chief Safwan Bey.
All right, thank you.
Go
Thank
ahead,
you for
please.
that. All right, so I think I've called Lama. Then we have Don Maurizio Bloas. Don Maurizio
from
Bloas.
Italy.
Okay, is he here? Is he here? Then
Reverend
let
Blois.
me...
Reverend Don Blois from Italy. Are you here? Okay.
Okay, please let's move on to the next person. Donald Inyadege. I think I've called this person. Doris Kamad is our co-host. Emmanuel Etu. Emmanuel Etu. Etu Emmanuel, are you here?
Absent.
Okay. Festus Obago.
Present, joining from Kenya.
Okay. Hamza Auta Mohammed.
I'm here from Abuja, Nigeria.
Okay, thank you.
From Abuja, okay.
Okay. So we have I don't know, I think I've called the Festus Obago.
Yes,
there's another one.
We have CD Elizabeth Omonego. CD Elizabeth Omolego. Are you here? Where are you joining us from? I didn't say you should make a confession. Say something. Are you here with us?
Just a presence.
She's waving. Maybe she's a member of the road safety. We'll get to know that soon. Justina Nathaniel. Justina Nathaniel, where are you joining us from?
I'm joining from Namibia, Swakopmund.
From Namibia. Okay.
Yes.
Winnie. Newamaya. Winnie.
I'm
Where are you
joining
joining
from
us
Uganda.
From Uganda. Thank you. Oh, who else? We have not called. Okay. Kasmira Jida. Kasmira Jida.
I've not heard my name. Hello.
We have not called
I've not heard. Yes, Komalafe
We have not
Shayo.
called you.
Yes, sir.
Kasmira
Komalafe.
Jida. Kasmira Jida. Okay, she's not here. Then Adams. Is it Catherine? Adams. Where are you joining us from? We can't hear you. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Okay, I'm joining from Ibadan, Nigeria. Present.
Ibadan, Nigeria. With your background, are you working with techno?
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. For the
Now, I'm just asking if you're working with techno. Okay. Thank God that our dear friend has introduced himself, and I don't know where our moderator run to. Yes, we have Pastor Victor.
Techno is raising his hand. Techno is raising his hand.
Yes, we are coming to Techno. Victor Baleme is trying to say we have not called him, and we have called Techno severally. Mr. Victor Baleme, are you here?
He raised his hand. Some people cannot speak. He raised his hand.
Okay. Maybe he cannot talk at that moment. Okay. Then let's move ahead. Donald, we've got Donald. Infinite
present. Victor is present.
Infinite
Thank
Note
you, sir.
8.
Hello, I've not heard my name. Komalafe Peter Shayo.
And you have called your name
Present.
yourself now. Mr. Komalafe, you have called your name yourself 3 times now. And we heard you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No,
All
you have
right.
called your name. You didn't wait for us to call you. You have called yourself. So,
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you have jumped my name in my head. That's why I'm saying I've not heard my name.
you didn't see our list. You didn't see our list. So how dare you say we have jumped? We have not jumped. And you have called your name yourself. So we will mark you present because you called your name yourself. So we'll go back to Techno. Techno. K7, are you here with us? You have something to tell us? Techno CK6. Techno CK6. You might not even know that you are the Techno because you have called Techno severally, you didn't answer. Techno CK6.
Present. Thank you.
Okay, Pastor Victor, we saw your hand raised. We thought maybe you're on another humanitarian trip, so you could not talk, but we have seen the hands raised.
Yeah,
Thank you
Chaplain,
for joining us.
Chaplain, I'm fine. Thank you. I can see you.
Oh, thank you. Everybody is fine. Thank you. Please, is there anyone here that we have not called? Have you not heard your name? Josephine from Abuja. Josephine, we didn't see your second name. Josephine.
Sir.
Josephine, what? What's your second name?
Ishola Josephine.
Ishola Josephine. So you have to hide Ishola. Why? And promote only Josephine. That's not good enough. That is gender-based violence. That is gender-based violence. Anyone here that
So
have not heard
my
his
name.
one name?
Yes,
Who?
sir. I've not heard my name.
What is? We don't know your name. So all we know is Techno CK6, and we have called you about 47 times now. 47 times.
Am I Techno CK6?
Yes.
Wow,
Thank God that you heard your name and you didn't respond, because that was what we saw. Techno CK6.
That is wow.
What is your name, sir?
My name is Oba Konsha Audi.
Oh,
Ibadan,
is this
Nigeria,
Saudi Uba? Imagine.
Yes, sir.
Imagine. All I've been saying is Techno CK6, and that's why we have been calling Techno CK6. All right. Is anyone here that have not heard his one name?
Is
I've not
Emmanuel?
heard my name.
I've not heard Emmanuel.
Emmanuel Etu.
Emmanuel Etu,
Yes,
we
sir.
have called your name 3 times. We have called your name 3 times.
So I didn't really get it. So I'm
Dr.
here, sir.
Amenti,
Present, sir.
Anisha, we don't know if you are still here with us. Thank you for joining us. Oh, are you the Infinite Note 8? Oh, wow. Thank you for joining us there, Lady Alicia Minton. You have been so wonderful. And I want to quickly give anyone opportunity. You can just get in touch with me. If you have any special program you want to be presenting on television, make sure you see me or get in touch with me. I can easily link you up
from Uganda.
with our program in United States, the television, universal television that you can be having your presentation weekly. We have humanitarian pages for that can promote. Maybe you have any talk, you have any show, you have any program you want us to promote weekly. There is a room for you. So make sure you get in touch with me so we can leverage on that with Lady Alicia and Minty. So if you don't go through me, you jump protocol, you might not be attended to. But if you have any program, let us know so we can rub minds together and see how we can promote your program or whatever you have to do too. And quickly, I want to also thank everyone joining us in this program. And my dear, beautiful moderator, she said I must moderate today. And she did it well, despite the fact that it was so tight, but she really did well. So can we say thank you to our moderator for today? And I will quickly want to ask various questions before we go to be sure that we quite understood what we have learned today. Let me go to Catherine Adams. Are you here, Catherine? I know you are busy in your office. You're busy with A4 papers and things like that. You better tell that person that you are coming back to him. What have you learned today, Catherine Adams? What have you learned today in today's program? What have you learned? Festus Obago, be ready after Catherine to talk. Tell us what you have learned today. Catherine, what have you learned? Briefly.
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so basically I've learned how to be able to assess funds, what it entails to, you know, to volunteer and put yourself out there to help people. And there was something I saw, I think that was towards the end when Mr. Andrew Jr. was actually sharing his screen, and I took keen interest in what he was sharing, where somebody said that we are here as a community now and we are together, but eventually we'll all die. And when we die alone. So it really encouraged me to want to be selfless and use every resources that I have to want to help people and, you know, volunteer in aspects of in aspects where I know I could be able to help people around me, you know, grassroots development, you know, the community at large and all that. So it's all about wanting to help the next person and to make the world a better place, you know, and it's according to the SDG goals. So, I mean, sustainable development goals, yes. So, hello?
You have rightly said a whole lot.
Yes.
That it is good to reach out to other people. Whatever skill you have, whatever talent you have, you should be able to help others. And that is what humanitarianism is all about.
Yes.
Giving all what we have. And when we talk about volunteerism, I've taught you there are three T's. that we need to understand. Number one is your time. You must be able to give your time, precious time, to attend to others. Talent, that is the skill. You must be able to use your talent, what you have, the skill you have to help others. Number three, you must be able to use your treasure. It might be money, it might be your properties, it might be your car.
Yes, any resources.
Yes, to help people. So volunteering or humanitarianism, you must learn about these 3 T's to help everyone. So the video you have watched is telling us how to be helpful to another. And I must tell you, the most effective prayer anyone can offer is helpfulness. Because whatever help you render, you surely have it in return. So thank you, Catherine Adams, for joining us and for participating here. Over to you, Vector's Festus Obago. Can we hear from you? And I want Komolafe Shayo to be getting set to speak after Festus Obago. Festus Obago, go ahead, please. What have you learned today?
Okay, what I've learned today is
Festus Obago, your network cannot take you away now.
As a volunteer,
your network
the
cannot
knowledge
take you
of the
away.
information. Am I audible now?
Yes, we are trying to. Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, what I've learned today is that we're supposed to use the information that we have, the knowledge that we have, especially whatever we are getting from these trainings, to be able to change the lives of people around us, to be able to complement whatever the government is doing, or to be able to supplement the gap or whatever little we can do to change the lives of the people around us in our communities, in our country, or where we are living, so that at least we make a difference in the lives of the people who are around us, especially we who are being able to have at least some knowledge of humanitarian support. In that we're supposed to use any resource, be it the knowledge, be it our time, any resource we have, to at least be able to change the lives of the people who are around us.
All right, thank you, Mr. Festus Obago. Is Mr. Komolafe now available for us? Komolafe Shayo?
Yes, I'm
we have
available,
not seen your
sir.
feet. We don't even know where you are. Go ahead, please.
I'm in the school premises. I'm driving over.
Okay.
I will try and park now.
What have you learned today?
I've learned today. I've learned how the international human rights are being how to handle it very well, effectively, and I've learned how to develop your own humanitarian aspect from whatever side you are or you find yourself in the community. Though the network is quite frustrating, but I think I've learned quite a number of things in the training today as a volunteer. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Komolafe. And lastly, let me look for one lady more to talk to us here. Josephine from Abuja. Josephine Ishola, can we hear from you? Josephine? Josephine?
Okay. Good evening or good day, everyone. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Correct, sir. Okay. I actually
What
learned
have you learned
on.
today?
Okay, I actually learned on how to use the skills that you know, things that you're able to do to help people around you to develop themselves, even without the help of the government and every other thing. You can actually help others to develop themselves with your own personal skill, and also helping, like the benefit of helping others is actually coming to everyone in the society. Once you help people around you, they'll be able to help others, and then would have a very good um will be able to have a very good community environment, and also develop our country, develop ourselves. I don't know if you're getting me.
Yes.
All right, sir. So we can just use our own human welfare to promote other people.
Okay. Thank you,
Yes, sir.
Josephine. And I can see Winnie raising up her hand. You want to defend your interests? Winnie, can we hear from you? Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, your name and where you're joining us from. Unmute yourself.
Can you get me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes, I'm joining from Uganda.
Okay.
And I've learned that whether you're a businessman or an employee, at the start of your sustainability journey or developing your next set of commitments, we've got useful resources, and we have to motivate ourselves. We have to motivate other people. Yes, there are challenges, but every day I have to wake up in the morning and motivate myself. I tell myself I can make it. And as well, I motivate my other friends, students. I keep sharing with them to live a better life. Yeah, that's it.
That's lovely. And, you know, one thing we must understand that the more we get trained, the more we come for programs, the more we understand what to do and how to go about things. I quickly want to use this opportunity to give anyone from University of Ibadan, Peace, Security, and Humanitarian Studies Department. If we have any one of you here, can you just tell us the program you are having on Saturday, and use this opportunity to invite all participants into that program? If you cannot join us live, be there in the university, you can come online to be part of the program. I want someone from that department of University of Ibadan to tell us briefly about the program that's going to come up on Saturday, 25th November 2023. Anyone from the University of Ibadan? I'm waiting. Hello? Anyone from the Peace, Security, and Humanitarian Studies Department of the University of Ibadan? Do we have any one of them here? So that means none of them is here. All right. If none of them is here, Ambassador Andrew, please can we move further if they have anything to say to round off today's program. Your Excellency, Ambassador Andrew Williams Jr.
They have program. I mean, they have program, so they have.
Yes, I can, but if you're not speaking, please mute yourself. I'll do what I can to mute anyone not speaking, but I just want to thank everyone for attending today. This was more of an orientation. We did cover important information, but the most important thing is that we are here together, and as volunteers, we're here to work together with each other, and we have to use our, as Pastor James says, we have to use what we have to get what we want to get done. So I'm going to share my screen to end today's session, and I'll turn it over to our moderator and also to you, Pastor James, for any closing thoughts. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I remain Chaplain James Mercy Obatumibi, the Chief Executive Officer for World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity. I want to thank everyone for joining us here in this program. And I want to say thank you to our moderators. Thank you to the facilitator of this program. The program continues tomorrow on Wednesday and Thursday. This is a 4-day program. Also, you have been told that only those who attended the program fully will be given certificates, because we're going to take another attendance tomorrow. If you are here today and you are not there tomorrow, that means you are not entitled to the certificate. You must be there for that 4 days to be entitled to our certificate. So thank you, everyone. And also remember, feel free to register on our website to become a volunteer with World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity. Whatever field of operation, whatever field of studies, whatever skills you have, you are useful here, because we want others to learn from you. So by so doing, we are there helping each other and helping them from whatever situation they have. And that is what we could say for now. I saw one writing here, we are here, students from University of Ibadan. Were you just paid to come, or you have been here? Because I have given you that time, chance to talk. I didn't hear anyone talk from University of Ibadan. I just want you to talk briefly on the program you're having on Saturday and how you want people to participate and also to support the program. But I didn't hear you talk. That means you didn't need us, or you didn't need people to come here.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
We can't
Can you hear me?
We can't hear you.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me now? Hello?
Go ahead, please.
Yes. The program we're holding within is on International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. So it's specifically designed to look at issues that surround violence against the women in general. It is as such that the students of the department decide to invite individuals across the country that will help anchor the program and educate others about the danger of adopting adversarial approach towards women. So it is in this regard that the WHOPE are also invited and are part of it, because the program is in collaboration with WHOPE and other organizations. Therefore, we be glad to have you witness or to come and grace the occasion. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. With that, Your Excellency Ambassador Williams Jr., please, who, if you're permitted, and if it is going to be this same link on what we have put on their page, we can use this same link to this lecture for that program on Saturday to join the Zoom link. It's going to be 11 a.m. Nigerian time in the University of Ibadan. We
No,
want it
no, yeah,
live
cause no time, you don't see
on
the
Android
matter.
networks and to be streamed live on WHOPE Facebook page. Your Excellency, I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about.
I hear you.
For
Yes.
that Saturday program, yes. The University of Ibadan, the Department of Peace, Security, and Humanitarian Studies, I have in that program, International Day of the United Nations of Elimination Against Women. It's going to come up on Saturday. So we are partnering with the University of Ibadan on that program. And we want all these participants here to also join us in that program. Wherever you are, from Kenya, from Zimbabwe, from Uganda, from Namibia, or wherever you are in Nigeria, Africa, United States, we want you to come on board to be part of that program on Saturday. You can join us live. And if you are around Lagos or your state, please, let's meet together there in that program to be part of it, because this is part of how we could give back to the community. You want to say something?
Well, again, so I apologize again. Please give me the flyer, but we request
yes, we're going to do that.
Our logo.
The flyer is all good.
Yes, we request.
We are designing the flyer already.
Yes.
And I told the designer to put the link for this program in there already. We're going to share that so we're able to share it out to invite people. And we also need your support, because there are a lot of things, souvenir for the students we are inviting. We need a program booklet and things like that that we need to design to support the program in the Peace and Security Humanitarian Studies Department of the University of Ibadan. So we are one. Let's see how to make things happen. And if you want to support us or you want to be there, you can as well get in touch with me, please, today or tomorrow. The earlier the better in everything we do, so we can make it happen. So thank you. Tomorrow again, we meet by the special grace of God. Same time, same link, and same station. So thank you so much. Your Excellency.
Thanks everyone for joining us. We're going to end today's program and make sure we have your email address in the chat so we can make sure you are able to access this information. But also, if you're on Facebook, you can go to the World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity Facebook page, and there will be a replay of today's event. Love to everyone. Thank you so much. This meeting is now coming to an end.